Hello and welcome to the Fans of Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Paulie Price. We're going to be talking about all the talent that WWE has released. Alright, so everything going on with this pandemic, it's definitely hurting a lot of businesses and a lot of corporations, and especially a corporation like WWE. They have a lot of money invested in a lot of things, and unfortunately, we all know that usually after WrestleMania they do a couple of releases of some talent, because that's the end of the year for them. But I really think that everything that's going on in the world with this COVID-19, that it resulted to them releasing a little more talent than they usually do. Now, WWE has come to terms on the release of Kurt Angle, Rusev, Drake Maverick, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, Heath Slater, can't believe that, he's got kids, Eric Young, Rowan, Sarah Logan, No Way Jose, the referee Mike Shida, Mike Kanellis and his wife, Primo, and Epico. I mean, that is a pretty long list right there. Now, they also did release a couple of producers and staff, but I believe those people will be coming back if things are on the up and up. They're like on a temporary release, but as far as all those wrestlers or independent contractors, they're gone. Now, it's tough, man. I mean, a lot of those guys I named, I really love. And a lot of them are those guys that don't get those TV times, especially like Eric Young and like Zack Ryder, Rusev. Those guys are great wrestlers, and they're not getting the TV time that they need. Unfortunately, I don't like to see people lose their jobs, but this may be a good thing. I know a couple of those wrestlers have their own side businesses going on and got things that they can land on, and possibly with AEW being in the mix and Impact Wrestling being hot as it is and NWA, there's a lot of companies to go. So usually I would be upset. I'm sorry, I didn't mention EC3, Aiden English, and Leo Rush. My bad. That is a big one right there, especially Aiden English, because he was the commentator on 205 Live. EC3 too, another guy I really loved. I loved him in Impact Wrestling. He was great. And then I was happy when he came to NXT, but they really did not utilize him the right way. And then he went to WWE way too fast, and they didn't even freaking use him. So it was really dumb. A lot of these guys are probably better off not with the WWE if they want to worry about their wrestling careers. Some of those guys, I'm sure, were happy collecting checks doing nothing. Listen, they weren't doing nothing. They were doing appearances and doing those live shows. But for them, not getting that TV time, that actually consists of doing nothing to them, because they love wrestling and they want the world to see what they can do. So it's really sad to see these wrestlers and producers and just staff members, crew members, anybody go, because they brought something to that product, whether it was comedy, whether it was silly, whether it was meaningful. They brought something there. I can't tell you how many times, Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder made me happy, made me laugh, or Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows made me excited that they won and laugh, and Heath Slater made me laugh, and just everything that they brought to the table, they were there for that reason, and I'm going to miss that. And I'm sure everybody else is going to miss that. It's hard in this time to find a job, especially if you're a professional wrestler and you really know that and nothing else. It's hard. But like I said, there's a couple of guys out there that can do their own thing, especially Kurt Angle, man. Listen, first of all, Kurt Angle, okay, I understand them releasing him as far as Kurt Angle and using him as a spokesperson or just for promotions or anything like that. Who cares? The guy's done wrestling anyway. And especially now with AEW, he could turn around and sign with AEW and bring a whole new aspect to them. So I'm excited for that. Even Rusev. Rusev is young, man. And I'm kind of happy for Rusev. I'll tell you why. I loved Rusev when it came to the Bulgarian Brute. I loved it. He was undefeated. He was a force to be reckoned with. And then I felt like they just cheesed out with him, with Lana. Lana was great when she didn't speak, but the more and more she kept speaking, the more and more gimmicky Rusev became. And then look what happened. He fell into Dolph Ziggler, and then Dolph Ziggler had a romance that lasted with Lana, and then that went for so long, and then look what happened. Now Lana went to Bobby Lashley, and then that went to shit. Because what happened? Nothing. They dragged it out way too long, to the point where it just fell off to oblivion. And nobody cared. And now it's sad to see Rusev go, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that maybe Impact will sign him. Maybe AEW will sign him. Who knows? The future is unpredictable for any of these wrestlers right now, especially with this pandemic we're dealing with. We don't know when the hell we're going to get back to reality. But, listen, I know Carl Anderson's got kids. He's probably got enough money in the bank. He can sit back and chill. Luke Gallows, too, also is another guy that I'm not worried about. He'll get a job anywhere. They're phenomenal talent. Eric Young, hopefully he gets... I would love to see Eric Young go to AEW and join the Dark Order. That would be really awesome. Considering that he was part of Sanity and it kind of had that vibe. That would be really cool. So if AEW wants to take that idea, go right ahead. I'm giving it to you. Especially Rowan, too. Rowan is another guy that they can put anywhere, but for me, I think the really hard-hitting releases for wrestlers are definitely like Primo, Epico. They really haven't made an impact in WWE. Maybe they'll make an impact somewhere else, but them not being on TV and people seeing what they can do, and it's kind of hurting their brand. So really, when they go out, it's kind of like people seeing them for the first time. Although I would rather them go with their Cohen names instead of the stupid Primo and Epico. I think that's why they fell off the charts, because those names are stupid and they just represented nothing. And it really didn't mean anything for me, and they kind of fell off the charts. And look what happened. Leo Rush is another guy that can go anywhere and pretty much start from the bottom because he's fresh, he's young. He's new, he can do pretty much anything. Sarah Logan, on the other hand, I'm not sure that she'll be able to pull off a career in wrestling because, honestly, I really didn't think that she was that great of a wrestler. Every time she did a move, it was very awkward. She would do stuff, and it just didn't look right. Even taking moves or giving them, it really didn't have a nice flow. So I can understand them getting rid of her. And Maria Kanellis, they really didn't bring that much to the table. But again, it is sad to see people lose their jobs. Nobody wants to see anybody lose their jobs. And I hope everybody finds something for them to do in the future. And I wish them all the best in their future endeavors, just like WWE does. It really is hard to lose your job, especially when you're an independent contractor. Who knows if these guys are getting severance packages? They're probably not. They're probably basically just lost their job, and now they have to fend for their family. And that's hard. And I know what that's like because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not a wrestler, but I lost my job because they closed down because of this pandemic, and now I'm pretty much forced to stay at home. So I really can't go out and try to make a living. So that's even harder, and it's going to be harder for them. But they are celebrities in a way, so they could go and do something on Instagram and maybe come up with T-shirts, and they have a better chance of building a brand because they have something to start with. Where I'm a nobody. And even this show that I do, nobody watches this show. It's still fresh. It's building up. Maybe 10 years from now, everybody will know who the hell Paulie Price is. But I'm okay with that. So that's pretty much it. So, I'm sure everybody knows who got released from WWE, and I definitely know that there's more to come. I will do a video and give you an update. I heard that they're going to be doing some releases from NXT. So we're going to wait and find out with that. I'll throw up a video for that. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening. And check out my other videos. So this is Paulie Price signing off saying stay safe, not stupid.